Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so today we are digging into one of the absolute best How We Met stories to ever grace the internet. Seriously, it's a legendary tale from Reddit that has everything. A heroic rescue gone wrong, an elite military dive team, a fake merman, and a truly unforgettable pair of Dragonfly underwear.
So let's just dive right in, shall we? The story kicks off in the Today I Effed Up subreddit. And I mean, look at that title. Posted by a user named Cheerful Chaos Pancake, this title alone is a work of art. You just know you're in for a wild ride.
All right, so picture this. Our narrator, Cheerful Chaos, is just out for a run by a lake. Pretty normal stuff. But then she spots what she's pretty sure is a dead body, just floating in the water. Nobody else is around, so she thinks, well, I guess it's up to me. Hero mode activated.
And this is where we get that classic gap between expectation and reality. You know, in her head, she's pulling off this graceful Black Widow-style dive into the water. But in the real world, not so much. She hits some sharp rocks and basically just flops into the lake like, and I'm quoting her here, a slinky doing a side flop. Ouch.
So this is the big moment, right? She swims all the way out to him, fighting through the pain and the cold, opens her eyes, and he's alive. And he is staring at her like she has completely lost her mind. So all that heroism just fizzles out into this incredibly awkward, "Are you okay?" followed by a very confused, "Yes." Just when she thinks this cannot get any more humiliating, suddenly more heads start popping up out of the water. Turns out they're all divers, and yep, they are all laughing at her. But somehow, this absolute peak cringe moment actually turns into a pretty amazing opportunity. So, the man she tried to save is actually part of an elite military dive team, and she just crashed their training exercise. Spectacularly. He swims her back to the shore, and in her head, she starts calling him the Merman. And this is what I love about her. Even in this moment of pure embarrassment, she's soaking wet, she's exhausted, she's in pain, and she still has the guts to crack a joke. It tells you everything you need to know about her personality. Just fantastic.
Now listen, this is the pivotal moment. Most people, myself included, would probably just want the earth to swallow them whole. You'd never show your face there again. But not her. Oh no. She leans right into the chaos, doubles down on the awkward, and invites him and his entire crew for a beer. What a move. So as you can probably imagine, this story just exploded on Reddit. It went totally viral. And the entire community got super invested in one single burning question. Was the merman actually going to show up? You know, the reaction in the comments was just overwhelmingly positive. People weren't making fun of her, they were praising her for, trying to do a good thing. Like this user said, it was actually really admirable and empathetic, even if the execution was a little off. And then she drops the detail that cemented this story in the Reddit Hall of Fame forever. In a comment, she reveals the infamous Dragonfly Undies. This description is just comedic genius. It became the centerpiece of the whole saga. Absolutely legendary. All right, so Cheerful Chaos gets to her shift at the bar, but she doesn't just leave Reddit hanging. Nope. She starts giving live updates to this massive, captivated audience, all of us just sitting there waiting to see what happens next. Okay, look at this timeline, because this is where the suspense just kills you. First, she posts, solid dinner crowd, but no merman. A couple hours go by, nothing. Then an hour later, still no show with the sad face, and you can feel the collective sigh from the entire internet. It's not gonna happen. But then, finally, he showed. Holy shit, the whole of Reddit just went wild. So, the merman arrives. And just like that, the story goes from being this hilarious comedy of errors to a potential real-life romance, with thousands of people on Reddit basically cheering them on from the sidelines. So she does what anyone would do in this situation. She ducks into the bathroom to type out an update, and she confirms it the chemistry is real. He's handsome, he's funny, and apparently he smells great, which is always a plus. It was the perfect payoff. And of course, you knew it had to come back to the undies, right? The story had to come full circle. Her friend just straight up asks him about them, and his response? A smirk. That smirk says everything. He saw them, and he was not scared away. A few weeks later, she came back with one final, really heartwarming update. Turns out the accidental rescue attempt actually turned into a real relationship. She says the merman is still around and that he's, quote, better than I can describe with my mortal words. How sweet is that?
Honestly, this whole story is just the ultimate proof that you should embrace life's most chaotic, weird, and embarrassing moments, because you truly never know where they might lead. So it kind of makes you wonder, right? What's the best How We Met story you've ever heard?